This is Joe's Corner 76. We'll be discussing the human condition. In order to change it, we have to be involved. Canada is at war. We're not in an armed conflict, but we are in a fight for our survival. As a nation, a definition of what Canadian is and our economic survival. Let's first examine the reasons we're in danger. Canadian unity is more critical to our survival now more than ever. We clearly need to find what Canada stands for. First and foremost, we must not become a nation of tribes who each pursue their own agendas. If you come to Canada, we expect and demand that you acknowledge our laws, democratic institutions, and accept our Canadian culture. You came for a better life, to escape the one you had, and to embrace Canada's culture. You can celebrate your culture, but do not bring the strife with you. Identify as a Canadian, not a hyphenated Canadian. Our political parties need to state unequivocally that they stand for one united Canada that supports every Canadian region. Let's create a society where everyone has a stake in making Canada great. All parties need to unite in pressing for inter-provincial trade barriers to be removed. Abolishing inter-provincial trade barriers would significantly boost Canada's national income. Credible estimates show roughly $210 billion would be added to the Canadian economy. This reflects major gains in productivity, competitiveness, and economic integration across provinces. Next, we as Canadians need to start and think big. Demand the government to form a cabinet of all parties to work together, to approve national priorities, to make Canada the prosperous country we should be. First, the government needs to stop giveaway programs that are paid for by the taxpayer, that increase the national deficit, and developing new agencies that are not accomplishing anything. Reduce personal and corporate taxes so there is more money to spend on investment. Canadians need to dream big and demand that the government meet that challenge. Canadians can produce big projects. We built the St. Lawrence Seaway in 1959, and since its inception, billions of tons of all types of material have been shipped through it. CP Rail was built to unite the country from sea to sea in 1875. The Trans-Canada Highway was built in 1971 from coast to coast. You know, we have built pipelines in the past. Enbridge mainline system in the 1950s, one of the world's largest crude oil pipelines. Trans-Canada Pipeline, built in 1953 to carry oil and petroleum products from Alberta to BC. Alliance Pipeline became active in 2000 to deliver natural gas to the US. We built the space arm. Nuclear power plants. We are recognized worldwide for our expertise. During the Second World War, Canada had only slightly over 11 million people. We had 1.1 million people in our armed services out of a population of 11 million. We built tanks, bombers, and ships on a massive scale, all through using private business enterprise. We built housing, not bureaucracies that did nothing. Can Canada get our country going again to build our economy, strengthen our military, and put us back in a position where we are once again trusted by our allies and respected by the world? I think we can. The Canadian government has the legal authority to build interprovincial pipelines. All they need to do is approve a route and tell private industry to build them for both oil and natural gas. These pipelines need to go west to supply the Asian markets besides China. We should be signing deals with South Korea, Japan, and India. The pipelines should go east to support our European allies with natural gas and help end oil imports to Canada from countries with repressive regimes. Remove the tanker ban on the West Coast. These actions alone will bring in billions of dollars to Canada. We need to get rare minerals out of the ground as soon as possible so we and our allies are not dependent on China. We need to build a warrior culture in our armed forces. The Canadian Armed Forces have to build a mobile, fast-reacting strike force capable of operating across land and marine environments to deter major powers, protect trade routes, support our allies, and rapidly respond to regional crises. If necessary, the government can invoke the Emergency Measures Act to keep things moving, since we are in a fight for our lives. You know, it's about time we realize we need the U.S. Trump won't be around forever. We had a long, mutually successful relationship with them, and we can again. It will perhaps be different, but we can and must build up a relationship with them. We are both necessary to protect the North American continent from external aggression, for our economic well-being, and to again be trusted by our allies. We clearly don't see, or at least we whitewash the countries that are out to change or undermine our way of life. We are not diligent in detecting terrorists in our midst and jailing and deporting them. We recognize Palestine as a state. This is just a boost to terrorists. Russia is involved in the militarization of the Arctic, which challenges our sovereignty and security. We need an immediate build-up our forces and bases in the Arctic. Russia uses major cyber intrusions against government systems, research institutions, critical infrastructure, and for stealing industrial and intellectual secrets. Russia uses disinformation campaigns to manipulate public opinion, weaken our democracy using media and social platforms and technology. We need to sanction them, and strengthen our cybersecurity and increase our security forces. China engages in electoral interference, coercing Canadian citizens, and they use cyber technology to undermine our security. Their electronic vehicles and other devices use cyber technology to gather potential private data and critical infrastructure. China uses economic pressure to influence our economic decisions. They use espionage and deceptive tactics to undermine us. They are targeting our critical minerals and AI capabilities. Should we really be trying to get them to replace the U.S.? Don't we need to regain the trust of our allies again? They are a protection for our national security. I'm just raising questions I think need answering. Do you have these or any other concerns about where Canada is going? You should. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Joe's Corner 76 and X at JPhilosophy76. You can hear me on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify at Joe's Corner 76. Please hit the subscribe button for my YouTube channel at Joe's Corner 76.